Joining us is Meghna Saraogi, the founder and CEO of mirrAR, an omni-channel solution that uses augmented reality to let businesses provide their customers with a chance to virtually try on jewelry, watches, sunglasses, makeup, and a whole lot more. We started up in 2015 with Style.me, and back then AR and VR weren't popular technologies. They weren't certainly as popular as they are today. So how important is it for startups to look ahead at new and emerging technologies and try and gauge the scope that it could have?
So even though mirrAR was started in 2017, even then AR VR was not so popular. So I'll tell you what excited me to build mirrAR. I was very intrigued by Snapchat filters, and when I saw filters can be on your face in your real environment, right? And we all would remember this doggy filter, which you take out your tongue and it's like a dog tongue out. I thought it was damn cool. And I saw so many people around me who were just so addicted to all these filters. So even though those filters / augmented reality was not like the thing for retail, I thought if it could be integrated into retail, brands will be able to show more products. And as a customer, I'll have access to so many things which I don't have physically. So I think that's something that I could think ahead of its time. Obviously, there were so many challenges because it was my thought, but people we were trying to sell to were not thinking, in that direction. So it took some time, but I think if you can, if you believe in something and if you see like a future, it's always nice to at least experiment, see. And I think what really worked for us was having a client who was ready to pay a pilot cost for us, for something which did not exist. So we were literally one of the first companies in India specifically to do AR in real time. And there was literally no one who did it before us. So, it was that plunge that we were very confident that we wanted to take. But what also gave us that validation was these clients paying us money to have this technology.
So apart from a client willing to fund a pilot cost or the initial cost, what are the other factors that determine a founder's confidence in investing time, effort, and resources towards new and emerging technologies?
So I think one very important thing is the market size. And with Snapchat becoming so popular, huge, and then Instagram also coming up with filters, what we could see was that augmented reality was here to stay. And I think there were several touch points which made us feel that today it might not be as popular or it's not in vogue, but eventually this will become the new normal. And I'll tell you how, from a retail perspective, me, my team, investors, everyone thought that, okay, this is the right direction to move. If you see how internet has evolved over the years, right? So when it started few decades back, there was only text, and then came static images, right? Where people would just put pictures of one product, probably the most terrible picture sometimes, because they won't spend time, energy, and money on that content, right? And then suddenly content became king, where everyone would have a different budget for content. And now you will see those images have already turned into videos. So even if it's lipstick, probably there will be a video which will show you how a lipstick will look, but you are seeing that lipstick on someone else's face, right? If you go and buy a lipstick, even in a store, you won't put it on your lips, but you'll put it on your wrist. And I think those were the roots, or those were the thought process that we had, and we said, okay, till now this is what's happening, what's next? So we were constantly thinking and building for the future. We weren't trying to be a part of the wave that was right then, but we said, okay, abhi tak ye ho raha hai, what is it that's going to happen tomorrow? And that's when we realized that with all of this, experiential shopping is going to probably be a very big thing. So imagine everything that you're seeing on the internet, you're able to experience on yourself. So, learning from different points point of views of these big tech giants that were working on, right? So apart from Snap, Google was trying to do something in the similar space where they tried to do beauty in AR on Google Shopping. Then Facebook suddenly changed the entire name to Meta, and I think that was one of the huge validation. Obviously, it came a little later, but even when we started, like, we realized that whether it was Facebook, Instagram, everyone was trying to adapt. So I think we saw this as a very huge opportunity, and sometimes, like, there is a pros and cons. When there is no competition or very little competition, you tend to ask yourself whether it's a small market, that's why people are not entering, or something like this will not exist at all. Or you can think it from other perspective, that it's such a new market that you leverage the first mover advantage. I think what we really focused was that we said, okay, we'll be one of the first movers and we'll build our product to a level where we always be the best in what we're doing in the technology. So I think that those were the conviction. Definitely the market, also the technology was evolving. Yes, that's a very important part, right? The technology was evolving, the smartphones, right? The camera quality were becoming better. So these things added up to our decision of focusing and staying with AR. And as we grew, we saw several points where we realized, okay, this is it, like literally on the right path. As I said, Facebook changing its name to Meta. Obviously, Metaverse is like a very huge part of the overall vision for Meta, but augmented reality is a very strong part of Metaverse itself. I mean, everything that Metaverse will start with AR. So I think those were the things where we realized that, okay, we are literally like on the right path.
And with that conviction, how do you also mitigate the risks that come with working with emerging technologies?
So, for some, I mean, we always just ensure that we are ahead of its time. I think risk for us and how we calculate or see risk is that obviously now suddenly people have started reducing their tech cost, etc. So AR will probably come at the bottom of the funnel and people will start removing it, right? So that's one point. The second is also that what if someone tries to be better than us, or tomorrow, suppose if like a very big tech company decides to take this up and has more clients than us, then we'll be dead, and things like that. So I think for the part where we think that competition can kill us, we have ensured to build a product which is the best in the industry. When you look at the experience that you get through mirrAR, I can vouch you won't get it on any other platform, right? So that's one part where we are constantly ahead of any other competition. The second is that, in situations where we feel that we'll become irrelevant altogether, right? When someone will say, okay, I don't need it. What we've also done is that we work on very strong data. So we have clear ROIs defined. If today as a brand, you are able to see that I am giving you an ROI where your sales are constantly increasing, your engagement is improving, your sales, your return rates are going down, and that number is so substantial that you can't remove me. That is what we are focusing on, where we ensure that our ROI is absolutely so strong that the brand wouldn't want to remove us. And at the same time, as I said, that with the technology constantly evolving and growing, we just have to ensure that we are ahead of everyone else. So we are constantly evolving, we are constantly coming up with new things, not just in the product, like, or in the one domain that we are in, but now we are also coming out with different verticals to make the risk as less as possible.
Right. And when a startup is entering a new tech domain, how should they go about understanding the market needs as well as the market size?
So I think market need is, so we specifically did a lot of research. We spoke to a lot of people. We saw their reactions, not just, so, there were two kind of people that we reached out to. One was obviously the brands. and the CXOs, marketing heads, innovation heads of these top brands. And the second was the end consumer, because even though we are B2B, our product is ideally used by the end customer, right? So we did a lot of research and R&D with these people, also understanding that where are we missing, like, where is the gap. So for example, we also became part of especially in the jewelry, we became part of couple of government or associations, made some of top management people there as our mentors and advisors, who would go through our products, see it, understand. So one part is technology, the other part is business. Unless these two merges very well, it won't be used in the best way. So we realized that we are great with the technology, with the product, but I'm not a jeweler. No one in my team is a jeweler, right? So how do we look at from their perspective where they find value in it? So I think we really worked hard on ensuring that we are relevant to the industry that we are focusing on.
Right. And what about finding the right product market fit?
I think you feel you found the right product market fit when there are multiple people who are paying you every single month without chance. I think that is one of the biggest validation. But also, as I said, as I mentioned about the ROI, when we show these numbers to our brands, right, and when they see this data and that thrill that we see on their faces, that excitement, that happiness, is something that makes us feel that there is a product market fit. So honestly, I think it's only recently, like few quarters back, that, and when we were able to show these numbers, we realized that finally we have found the product market fit. Because every month after month, there are clients who are paying us and they are growing. Not just paying us the fixed amount that's been decided, but also because our pricing works on usage, the usage is increasing, right? And they're okay paying us that extra amount. And as I said, from the ROI that's defined, it's a very clear indication of how not just the technology, not just the brands who are adapting, but also the end consumers who are adapting to new technology so much. And if you look at especially the Gen Z or the millennials, they are just so used to being on their phones all the time that anything which is focused on phones or focused on internet or giving you those experience is bound to work. I think the attention span is so less for people right now, right? Like you do anything and suddenly you'll start typing or seeing your phone on different apps. So the attention span for people have gone so less that the minute you see something which is experiential, like imagine if I am seeing myself in a red lipstick right now, I would probably want to swipe and see 5 more shades and see how it looks on me. The technology has already hooked me there right away, because in a scenario where I was not giving even a minute to like going to a store, exploring, here I'm sitting and trying everything like at the comfort of my home. So I think that is when you realize that there is product market fit. And another thing is obviously clients' testimonials. Like when you hear from your clients who are paying you saying this is driving business to them, this is adding value to their brands. So without taking name, I was in a conference and in one of the panels, coincidentally, there was someone who was as a CXO position of that brand that we work with. And suddenly one of the questions was about technology and adaptation of technology, because people take time to adapt to tech, right? And this gentleman very graciously said that, we started using this AR technology before COVID, and we would not use it properly, and we thought probably it doesn't work. In COVID, we all had extra time, so we said, okay, let's try and use it. And he said, now it's in all my stores. Now I'm able to generate sales more out of this, and my customers are so happy, they are able to engage with this. And the pointers that he mentioned, and without knowing that I'm in the audience, and me without knowing that I'll be able to experience such a beautiful talk and moment hearing about what we are building. Those are things that gives you the confidence of product market fit.